Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks. I'm Tommy Jumba John.
How's it going?
Star Wars.
Star Wars,
We promised
SWU.
boxes. We got it. I did open some already. I'm going to use this Home Depot gift card to open it because I didn't grab anything else. Uh, that's not working.
It's defeating it.
Got a
Use the
damaged
seam.
box, right?
Use the seam, Force. Use the seam, Luke.
Home Depot gift cards, they don't make them like they used to. They're like this
Yeah, I
cardboard
guess
thing
not.
now.
Yeah, it's paper.
Home Depot, if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Yeah. We'll advise you on how to do your
we'll
gift
advise you on how to
cards.
do box openings, Home Depot. But yeah,
They'll be like, get a razor. We have that at Home Depot. Use the gift card, get a razor.
it's fine. Damaged boxes work better.
That's right. So, what are
But
you looking to pull?
the big things are I don't even take them out of the box. Um, so I've opened a bunch already. So
Yeah.
I obviously showcases. Showcases are the big pulls. They're 1 in 12 boxes, is what they said. But we have friends that opened 22 boxes on release day and didn't open any. So
Now, this is the showcase foils or what? Or is
hey,
oh,
balloon celebration! Yay for recording on
upside
a
down.
Mac.
Yeah, that was weird. Why are they going the other way?
Maybe because I'm saying yay? I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
your fingers. It's got to be the peace sign thing.
Peace. Um,
No, it's
no,
not.
no.
Okay.
Surprises. So when you open a pack, if you haven't seen them already, you start with a leader and you start with a base, a common base, and then they both have a chance to be hyperspace, which is the borderless extended, whatever you want to call it. It's called hyperspace. Every card in every pack has a chance to be so in every slot, so it's really fun opening packs because even the commons and uncommons can be hyperspace. It averages about 2 hyperspace cards for every 3 packs, but sometimes you don't have any, and sometimes you have multiple in the same pack. So I'm just going to do commons. See if we get any in this first pack. Common, 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 uncommon, uncommon. Hey, benthic 2 tubes. This is a good hyperspace. So this is without the border is the hyperspace. A lot of the hyperspace cards are going for a decent amount because I imagine a lot of people just want to have hyperspace out their deck. Like you would foil out your
Yeah,
deck, some people will hyperspace. And if people
of
that don't
course.
like foils, there's hyperspace non-foil like this one. And then every pack, the last card in the pack is foil, and that also has a chance to be hyperspace. So we'll put hyperspaces to the side. And so then you have your rare, and then your foil. So we'll do rare, and come. But been enjoying this game a lot. Gonna go draft for the first time tonight. Super excited about that. I've played sealed.
Nice.
I've played constructed. I've played the starter decks. Constructed, sorry. It's called Premier. And enjoying this game a lot. Got the Darth Vader playmat. I didn't point that out, but love it. Some of the GameGenic does all of the uh, accessories for the game, and some of their playmats do not have zones. Most of them don't. The only one I saw, I think it was like the Death Star one, it does have zones. So if you do want zones on your mat, there is an option for that. Uncommon. And then they also have a 2-player mat that has the zones as well, and that's just hyperspace.
We played on that, right?
Yeah, yeah. But it's very fun. And we got the paper packs, which is lovely. Recyclable. They don't have that funky smell. They have a good smell. So this is, just want to point this out because I know a lot of people are just getting into the game. There are two versions of this card, Resupply. There is this one, and then there is the one in the starter decks. The starter decks, the cards have a little bit more help in gameplay assistance, in that this says put this event into play as a resource. In parentheses on the starter deck version, it will say exhausted, because when you play Resupply, you do not have access to that resource that turn, but it will go back to being a resource the following turn. So just a commonly misunderstood. There are a couple cards that probably could use, like, they're, if you read the rulebook, you will know, but it's one of those on the card understanding, if that makes sense. I don't know how
Yeah,
to phrase that.
it's they do that in Magic where it's like keyword. They'll give it in parentheses to just give you a little
Yeah,
helper.
yeah,
Yep, makes sense.
yeah. Common, uncommon, and after we go through a couple packs, we can kind of speed things up. Han Solo rare, Protector foil. That's an uncommon. But yeah, I know we talked about it on the podcast, but we got to play on Friday, which was super fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. I got my butt kicked, but it's okay.
Yeah, you'll get better. I am planning, there are a bunch of friends around me that are interested in the game. I'm going to be teaching some more friends this weekend. And
So when's Star Wars Day, huh?
yeah, soon. Rare base and a hyperspace foil. So these are the hyperspace foils. They look really cool.
That looks cool. I like that one. That's
Yeah.
the wormhole, right?
Yeah.
Where they fly in and sit in the worm.
Yep. Exhaust an enemy unit, give a shield token to a friendly unit that costs 3 or less.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Hyperspace. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
heard
I
people don't like the art.
It's, I mean, sure. Some people may not.
I was a little surprised, honestly.
This
think
is the
art's
card.
pretty solid.
This is the card people don't
That's
like.
the card everyone hates. It was
Yeah.
called out specifically.
It is.
Why?
Han Solo got done dirty, I guess. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
I think
It's all like very comic style, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Looks fine to me.
Uncommon. Rare.
So what do you think they're gonna do with future sets? Go to different eras, like different movies?
Yeah. Well, I know
Because this is clearly across all the eras. We got Mace Windu next to
this is a focus on the original 4 movies, but there are exceptions, and I think that'll just
Yeah, I
kind
was
of
gonna
be
say,
the
is it?
theme, in that everyone has a little bit of everything,
Yeah, makes sense.
for now at least. And then you'll start to see more specific sets probably, but I think they just
Yeah.
want to get all the popular heroes out there right now, because I mean that's what you
Yeah,
do
that
to get
makes
people into
sense.
the game.
Yeah, starter set, right?
Yeah, I
You
also
gotta
think
give
it's
a
really,
baseline.
yeah, they have, I think it's 18 different leaders in this first set, so a lot of options of different play styles right off the bat. Deck building alone is a ton of fun, and just theory crafting. And
Yeah, I
with
noticed
the different color combinations.
Yeah, our Discord kind of lit up with different thoughts on different
Yeah,
decks
because you have the leader, but
and
then you have the
tech
base
and
color,
this and
which
that. Yeah,
opens up all these different cards and how that interacts with your leader and what those cards can provide to your deck. And which
and how
ones you're
different
giving up.
cards interact, right? There's
Yep.
some questions about, like, I guess, card interaction or combos. Maybe it was unit and a card or something.
Yeah.
Join our Discord. Join the conversation.
Yeah, it's a good time. Hey,
What'd you get?
foil Luke Skywalker.
Nice.
There we go. That's a legendary.
Yeah,
Legendaries are, if you're familiar with Flesh and Blood, they're kind of like the Majestic, and it is an average. I think I'm hearing like 5 to 8, but then there are boxes with less. And so here's
That
the hyperspace leader.
is was that a hyperspace or just foil?
Just foil.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I know the hyperspace one is super crazy.
$60, yeah.
Yeah,
The
and it's all up
foil
on TCG
regulars,
Player.
no joke
No,
though.
no.
That's $40, so
Yeah,
that's a good hit.
yeah. I pulled.
Is there hyperspace foil too?
Yes, there is.
Okay, that's it. Okay. Now I got it.
Hey, back-to-back packs. I have noticed this
Oh,
while I'm
that's a
opening.
$30 one. Yeah.
While I've been opening these, I have noticed like I pulled a hyperspace Boba Fett and a regular Boba Fett in the same box.
Beautiful.
So if I get a hyperspace Luke in this, that would be really cool because then I get all three. I already have one or two, I think. But it is definitely going. There are most of the singles are pretty cheap. You have your Lukes, your Vaders, your Bobas as pretty expensive cards, but they are the big bombs in Premiere right now. And even so, like the hyperspace cards of super playable cards, even like Viper Probe Droid that sees a lot of play, you're starting to see just how hard it is to actually get the specific one you want. So I think there will be a high demand for singles.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if someone's going to come out with an EV calculator.
It'd be really hard, I think. Like because you
I
have
mean, do
four
we have
versions
pack
of every
makeup?
card.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, someone's got to pull some data together, but
Right.
didn't you? I mean, you know, a group that opened what 22 boxes. You
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
so. There's definitely people doing mass openings that could
Oh,
collect that data
absolutely.
and figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing anything that's really low listing. I mean, obviously it's less than a week after launch, so that would be shocking. Other than it
Medal
hasn't gotten
Ceremony,
up there yet.
hyperspace.
Boba Fett is the hotness in
Yes.
showcase.
I've been building around Grand Inquisitor because that was one of the showcases I pulled. The fifth brother and seventh sister are killer. Oh shoot! And then looking at the camera, there's a Boba Fett.
Nice.
I think that completes my playset of Boba Fett's, which is super exciting.
So,
yep.
main play style
Yep.
for you. Do you expect draft, constructed, the whatever they call it, two sons
Twin
thing?
Sons.
Twin Sons.
If I had my way, it would be Twin Sons.
I mean, I think that's the more fun for like a day of Star Wars
Yes.
because then you can have pods as opposed to like one-on-one.
Yeah.
But that said, I know a lot of people like super consistent, you know, like constructing for perfection. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which you get in the constructed format more than the Twin Sons. It's a singleton.
Yes. I'd say, yeah, I mean, I can see, I don't know if Twin Sons will really be like a locals kind of thing off the bat. But right now I'm seeing a lot of draft for locals. Local
Yeah, that
events.
makes sense. It's because it's designed for it.
Yes.
Everyone wants to play that puzzle. Like
Yes.
that's the new puzzle, right?
Yeah. And it's super fun and interesting how you draft the leaders and then you draft your deck. So, but when you're drafting your deck, you have the knowledge of what you can build, like what leaders you're going to build for. You have access to all the common bases. So you don't have to worry about opening the right base, I
You
believe.
get to choose one color.
Yeah.
Like
On top
regardless.
of your
Yeah.
base.
Yeah.
But the knowledge of looking around the table and seeing what leaders are in play, and then if you get a rare leader, maybe you're the only one with that rare leader, and you go those colors and things. Hey, another hyperspace Boba.
Nice.
And Lando. Oh, that's rare. So now I just need one more hyperspace Boba. And
Oh, there it is.
I have a
That's
playset
a
of
that's a
hyperspace
$90 card. Good
Mhm.
God.
Mm-hmm. Opening these boxes right now. If you can still get them in the like $90. It's
Yeah. Speaking of, if you can still get them, Primary
FOMO
Distro
engaged.
is out.
Yeah,
It is unavailable.
for now.
Um, yeah, for now. Remember, this is a board game company, not a TCG company. They have done TCGs in the past, but to expect them to not
Hey.
do more waves is pretty silly. We do expect more waves,
Yes.
but we don't know how much and how big and all that stuff. And honestly, if I were them and watching the data of these other releases, I might keep my print run pretty tight as well to create FOMO, right? And hype. So there's a question as to whether they did that. But that said, do not FOMO. Go
No.
visit your local game store. I know several of our game stores still have it in stock, so
Yeah. I know they
it
were.
is around.
I know there was discussion on their live streams before the game came out about how important uh, meeting demand was to them, and so they really tried to assure people that there will be enough supply.
Okay, then there's definitely a new wave coming.
Yes, there will absolutely
Or
be.
is there a new wave, or are they doing the Walmart release thing?
What's the Walmart release thing?
I was just curious if there's any plans to release at Walmarts and
Nope,
that sort of thing.
not yet. Nope,
Okay, none.
nope.
Okay, okay, okay.
It
I
is
thought that was
all
something they had talked about, but I
no.
couldn't
It is
remember.
all LGS.
All LGS. Okay. Okay. Well, then, yeah, there's just going to be another wave at some point. It's just not out yet,
Yes.
which is totally fine. It's release weekend. Big deal. This
Yeah.
is how it goes.
Yeah.
Probably testing the waters a bit.
Yeah. 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 And I mean, stores are probably testing their demand, right? Like it's another TCG that they have to stock and throw on the
Brand new.
shelf.
Exactly.
How
This
much?
is a very questionable, dive in sort of thing with
Yeah.
everything else going on for
Like,
a store.
yeah. How many? Oh, yeah. Command. Just want to call this out. There are
Dude,
these ones that go over the colors. So the green is command, and so each color has their card that is dual type. That you require two, so you need to have one in your leader and one on the base to play it without paying the extra two. They are all pretty playable in those colors. But
based on my experience in sealed, never do that.
don't
Just
do that
use
in
it as a
sealed.
just as a splash. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
You don't need to build your whole deck that way.
No.
More color access is way more valuable than a single card you have to pay two extra for.
Yep. Absolutely. But these boxes are a ton of fun to open.
I learned that after getting my face kicked in for 3 games. That was my lesson.
Another hyperspace foil.
Very nice.
They're all so cool. But
Card quality seems pretty good, right?
yeah,
Nothing
yeah, it's holding
too bad there. Nothing.
No.
I think the edges on some of them weren't perfect, but it happens, especially first runs. Foils look good.
I've seen
Trying to
some
think.
misprints online, but I have not run into any myself.
You mean like a bad cut or something, like it's off center or something?
Yeah, or like half of one.
Yeah,
card,
yeah,
half of
yeah,
the other,
yeah, yeah. That happens. I mean, that ends up being collectible in some games. So
Yeah. A foil Palpatine.
nice, nice. So my question is, why aren't you selling all these cards right now? No, I'm just kidding. Sell into the hype.
I may let some go. I have a couple friends locally that are looking to build decks ASAP, and they know that I am opening a bunch, and so they will be filling out their singles that they need from me.
Did is this the DD boxes?
These are.
Okay, yeah, I was curious if they'd actually come in because last I heard they were supposedly coming in.
Yes, yeah, they came in
So
yesterday.
they did.
I rushed over right after work and picked them up before they closed at 6.
Yeah, I was thinking about going down there and picking up a couple boxes. I might actually do that today because I have a game night in the city, so swinging by there. They close at 6. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, go sneak by there before I go over.
Count Dooku. Super fun card.
And no, I'm not opening the boxes.
No, you're throwing them on the shelf?
Of course, this is what I do, man.
I don't know how I feel about this game in shelf boxes.
I don't care. That's irrelevant for me. I got shit that's long dead and
Oh,
on my
yeah, no,
shelf.
I know.
Remember, I picked up stuff that's so old, so old.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Where?
Actually, you know what's funny? One thing I don't have on the shelf I don't think I have any of it except for some singles around still. I have to look. MetaZoo.
All gone?
I think it's all gone.
Lucky bastard.
I might be wrong. I might have a box sitting somewhere in the basement or something. Or I can't remember if I moved that case or not. I know I did, and then someone canceled the order on me, but I
There it
think I
is.
ended up selling it a few weeks later.
Seventh Sister. So it has Saboteur when it. This is what I was talking about earlier. When this unit attacks,
Gross.
ignore Sentinel and defeat the defender's shields.
So
And
good.
when this unit deals combat damage to an opponent's base, you may deal 3 damage to a ground unit that opponent controls.
It's
So
so
just
good.
go face and then also deal 3 damage.
Yeah, that should have been in my deck. That would have been good in my deck.
Yes.
Because you all you had was those stupid shields.
Yep.
Now, does that 3 damage ignore the
It's
shields
box
too?
1. Yeah, it pops the shield before. It pops the shield before doing damage. When this attacks a unit, ignore Sentinel and defeat the defender's shields.
Oh, and defeat the shield. Okay.
But so that's
But what
box
about that
1.
extra damage to the units? Does that do that as well?
What do you mean?
You see how when she hits the base, it does 3 damage to a unit?
Yes.
Does that do the saboteur effect with the
No.
3 extra
No.
damage thing? Okay.
No.
It's only
So like
an
going through
attack.
here. Yeah. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's the 5 L's. We got 2 Lukes, 2 Bobas, and a command.
Is there a way to create a high removal capability and then just go Star Destroyers? Just go all space. Just all space and bombing runs and stuff, to kill the units.
Bombing runs are fun. There is a bombing run card.
I know. I had it.
Okay. It's in my sideboard
Yeah.
for Grand Inquisitor, just because Grand Inquisitor I play a bunch of like grit stuff, so the damage counters give it a +1 attack,
Yeah, nice.
and then, um, oops,
Yeah, so you could do like bombing runs and like force lightning, anything that's like a direct damage sort of pile to
Yep.
handle the units on the ground and then just try to overwhelm from space.
Yeah.
That would be
Legendary
fun.
pack 1,
Nice.
1, common. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting. You have a 50 card deck and then a 10 card sideboard, so that's a pretty large percentage to be able to swap in and out depending on your opponent and depending on how game 1 goes, because you can learn a lot from game 1, and it is a best of 3 per round. You asked what I was interested in, and I said Twin Suns, but I think draft will be my preferred way to play locally, like at events.
Yeah, we'll see in 3 months.
But am not limiting myself to that. I am definitely going to be.
I feel like any
constructing
draft
decks and-
format gets kind of solved after 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, and there will be 3 sets this year, so it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
like
Oh, well, that means by the time it's solved, you pretty much have another set
Mhm.
coming.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Bidoo. It's a fun card. You're my only hope. That is a rare. Put that there. But yeah, I am kind of surprised. I was a little anxious to see how singles were going, but I think just the amount of people that didn't hear about this game and then it came out and then they're like, oh, I would be interested in
Oh,
that.
what? Yeah. Say what?
And I think I don't know if you caught it, but the Monday live stream for Team Covenant was focused on Star Wars Unlimited.
I did not watch the whole thing. I watched through the news because I wanted to hear the news, but I didn't watch them play Star Wars.
I didn't watch them play. I just flipped. I watched up until they started playing, then went to their final thoughts, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So this is what the leader hyperspace looks like.
Nice. Now, will they be carrying Star Wars?
They will not.
They will not. Okay, I was curious.
I think they are on watching what they back. And their kind of thing is, from what I took from it, was their concerns were over the license, which is valid. Uh, the game can just stop. A Millennium Falcon. That's a big hit. Because you lose the license, then you're done playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think the game is pretty solid, and I think if they're able to, I mean, them losing the license would be much bigger deal than just this because they also do all the miniature games, Asmodee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a little
So it would take a lot.
very unlikely, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's a hit. Even though
Nice.
it's a common, it's a hyperspace foil. Any hyperspace foil, especially for playable cards like this A-Wing, are big hits. But sorry, I got distracted. The with having the so many different Star Wars games under their belt, it would really, I don't know what they would do if they lost the license. So I think they're going to respect it and treat it with care that it deserves. And I know a lot of people have been burnt on games like Destiny, but this seems like a very different team that made this. It has some people still from Destiny, but a lot of new faces as well on the design team. And it is a different Fantasy Flight than when those games were coming out. And it's a different TCG market.
Yeah, all those are true. I hate that the specialty bases are one-time use. It makes it very hard. I never used the one that I did set up because I don't know if I need it later.
Yeah, it's
by
one of those
it being
things.
only one use, I'm like, I never want to use it.
Yeah, it's
which is
usually,
a mistake, obviously.
Yeah, there are different ones, and different ones are good and bad to use at different times of the game. Some are good to use early to establish early game tempo that's hard to come back from, and some are good to maybe you don't use them at all, but they had their value because your opponent had to play around them, like the red one that can deal 3 damage.
Yeah, that's true.
A foil, or like this Jetta, give a non-leader unit -4/-0 for this phase. That's probably not worth it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it never seems that valuable.
No. Or the blue one giving a shield. I mean, you have to think about it because you're essentially paying 5 life for that ability. So that's just a deck building decision.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to do, is that benefit worth 5? And in most...
Is 1 life worth 5 life? I guess it's not 1 life because it's all damage to that one thing. But yes, because it's at regular tempo, it feels useless.
Right.
Feels like a waste.
Yes. So, I mean, that's just the deck building decision that you gotta make. I tend to not use the rare ones unless the base is green, because that one can be worth it, just because it's basically 2 actions in once, because you're giving a unit ambush. Oops. You're giving a unit ambush, and so it then is coming in and is removal. So it's like playing a card and a removal card in one action. So it's kind of like that action economy. Does it actually benefit me? Whereas the other ones, your action is giving a unit your opponent controls, like for Jetta, is -4. It's like, okay, well, maybe I just don't attack with that one. Right? Yeah. Like, it doesn't instantly make your opponent change
almost
their
defines an action as worth 2.5 points.
Yeah.
Of life. Almost. I wouldn't say it's a definitive number, but it's a reasonable way to look at the numbers.
Right.
Interesting. Which means, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting game. I know I'm just at the tip of the iceberg of it. It's a brand new game, a lot of things to be discovered, but that's also what's kind of exciting. And as I get
Yeah.
into it, there are cards that like I just didn't understand when they would ever be good,
And now
but
you're starting to
now
see.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just the way you build your deck can
Is there a
differ
database of
greatly.
all the cards?
Yep, on their
So you can
website.
like search
Yeah.
for keywords and stuff.
Yep, on their right on their website. The website's actually fairly impressive. It goes over all the different formats. It has a card database. It has a deck builder. It's actually pretty impressive. And
Almost like
for
they know what they're doing.
resupply hyperspace. Yes, exactly. But also, if any of you have been listening for a while and listened to me talk about the collector app and where I was cataloging all my cards there, this game has been added to the collector app,
Nice.
which is very exciting.
All right. Green and yellow.
Green and
They're
yellow?
definitely, yeah, they're definitely the powerhouse.
Yeah, Boba is nuts. Because
Oh, is he green and yellow?
he's yellow-black.
Oh, okay.
I pulled one. I know I did. Oop. What's really
I'm just
interesting
looking
about
at ambush because ambush adds value for the economy, and they're both high ambush
what's
colors.
really interesting about Boba's ability is when an enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, ready a resource. Do you know what this is missing?
Hmm.
An action. It's not an action to do it. It's just when an enemy leaves play.
Just happens. Yeah,
Yep.
that's really good.
Now, only once per phase, but still.
Freebie.
Yeah. But yeah, it is going to be really hard. What I have noticed is because of the difficulty and pull rate for legendaries, it's going to be really hard to pull just the legendaries that you want or need, like getting playsets, which I think will then push the popularity of Twin Suns. And I think if Twin Suns takes off, this game is going to go crazy. Like if Twin Suns can start pulling in commander players, which is obviously the goal of that format.
Yeah, I mean, I think that will probably take a little time. I would assume.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll probably be after set. I think set 3 is when they're expanding, because you need more card variants.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have the pool for it to really make sense as a fun like surprise. You never know what you're going to get format.
Yeah, this card is bonkers. Fallen Lightsaber.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Attached to a non-vehicle unit, and if it's attached to a force unit, it gains on attack deal 1 damage to each ground unit the defending player controls, and it's +3.
Seems fine. Nothing wrong with that.
No. This is your red-black that crushes red-white. It's nuts.
I'm a little disappointed it doesn't get to lightsaber some spaceships. I mean, we've seen that happen in Star Wars shows, so.
Not yet. It's only set 1, John.
Oh, true.
Gives them room to.
Give them time.
We do have attached to a vehicle unit, though. There are vehicle unit attachments. Good. So they do exist, just not lightsabers. Hey, Command Hyperspace.
Ooh, that is a good one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect.
Legendary Hyperspace. Rare. All right, so we're down to the last couple packs here. I think we got 5, including this one. But, ooh, IG-88 Hyperspace. And a base. Common. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm really very much looking forward to diving deeper into this and getting more time to play. I'm doing a heavy hitters draft boot camp this weekend with some friends to help a friend prep for Pro Tour LA. And I may or may not pull Star Wars out after, because some of them are interested in learning and some of them I've already played. So I'm going to try and get some Twin Suns decks together before Saturday. May or may not be possible, but I'd like to, because that would be fun. Because these would be people that I would want to test it out with. And aggression. So this is the red aggression card.
You.
Hyperspace. That's hyperspace. But I am thinking about putting together a binder of all these hyperspace cards, because I think that would look really cool.
Yeah, I think so. Also, be worth a ton of money, at least according to current prices.
Yes. Yes. Destroyer. Common. Yeah, it is surprising. Like I was genuinely thinking that prices were not going to hold to pre-order pricing, and a lot of them have surpassed pre-order pricing. I wonder if it's just because stores aren't. I know. I was also surprised by the amount of stores. So like when you go to a card, the amount of stores that opened for singles is, or the amount of people, I guess, too, is pretty shocking.
And you said you knew at least one store was setting up a singles case, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that is impressive, because I feel like we still don't have that for Flesh and Blood anywhere in Philly.
Yeah, and it's a first set.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. The speed at which there was commitment to it,
Yeah. Well, again, huge Star Wars fan.
And also Star Wars in general.
Yes.
Yeah. It has that built-in IP value. It
does.
It matters. It really matters.
IP matters. We've done Vigilance.
Yes, we have.
Nice. We have had double legendary pack.
Nice. Didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, you can have a triple legendary pack.
Crazy.
Yeah. A buddy of mine opened one from his prize pack from a pre-release. Opened a triple legendary pack from the 2 packs that he got for showing up to the pre-release. All right, last pack. Come on, Thrawn. Something special.
You got this. You got this.
Grab off. Be really cool. And ooh, actually, I do need that. That's exciting. Uncommon. Rare Delmico. And that. Delmico's a fun, interesting card. So they've put these cards in that you're kind of just like, you wouldn't put in a main deck, but are very good sideboard cards. So right now you have Boba running around like crazy as one of the top decks. Plays a lot of events. When this guy's just out there, each event an opponent plays costs 1 more.
I think I had that at one point.
Yeah.
But then you didn't play events until you killed him, like a smart player.
Yes.
And I was very sad about it.
It's a lot of fun. But cool. That's our first box opening. I'm sure we'll do more, especially as the other sets come out. And I plan on, I know we have some more boxes coming, so we will open them when they get here. But
awesome.
Let us know what you think of Star Wars. Do you want to see more of it on the channel? I don't really care what your answer is. It's going to happen. But I'm just curious.
We love you, but
we love your opinion, and your opinions matter. But it's not going to change that. So
Tommy's in.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm all in.
No stopping him.
Yeah, and I don't know. Team Covenant, when they were talking about it, they talked about a lot of things in reference to Flesh and Blood. Like they're still very much in Flesh and Blood, and that's what they play on a regular basis. But he also mentioned just fatigue and seeing what a game can offer, and I feel like that's where I'm at with Flesh and Blood. They didn't say that's where they are, but that's where I'm saying I'm at, where I feel like I've seen a lot of what Flesh and Blood can offer. I'm there to play with my friends and view in the community, and that's not going to change. But the passion is in Star Wars right now. So
it's all good.
Yeah.
Allowed to change what you love for a moment.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. Go what
life's too short.
Makes you happy.
Enjoy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do what makes you happy.
Cool. So, until the next video, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.